Every so often, my dad asks me the same question about my college experience. He says, "Son, how's your toolbox doing?" But what he really is asking is, what am I learning in college to help me in this life? You see, my dad was a bicycle mechanic for 25 years, and he understands the idea of needing the right tools in your toolbox. In these few moments I have with you, I would like to share with you a few stories that are helping me to understand this a little bit better. I'm remembering the fall of my freshman year. It was my first nationals trip with the cycling team. We were headed to Angel Fire, New Mexico. We had a few staff members come with us on this race. One of those people was Dean Schmidt. And you know, I thought it was a little bit funny they sent the Dean of Students with us. I knew the cycling team was a little bit wild, but the Dean, come on. But I kind of just watched what Dean Schmidt was up to that week. The first night, he went to the grocery store, came back, and made an awesome dinner. And then he did the dishes. The next morning, we got up, there was already a huge breakfast waiting for us. And then he did the dishes. Next night, same thing. You get the idea. I never exactly asked him, "Why are you here?" But I knew it wasn't for discipline reasons. And I knew it wasn't to do with anything with his job requirement. You know, it seemed he just cared. Another quick story. There's this guy named Ben Martin who works here. He's a freshman advisor now. Last year he worked for Dr. Swan, and for a whole year we would meet up every Monday for lunch. We didn't have any plans for these weekly lunches. We'd simply talk about what was going on in each other's life. He let me tell him about my dreams, and he even told me something about his. He'd encourage me and help me. Never would he tell me what to do. My only bitterness toward him is he didn't pay for this college kid's lunch every time. But seriously, these weekly lunches had nothing to do with his job requirements. Ben Martin just cared. One last story. There was this day I stayed after my class in general chemistry course. Doc Shuppet was my professor, and I asked him a question I was tossing around for a while. He's one of the few professors that I felt comfortable with talking about faith and science in the same conversation. So I told him about some of my struggles, and you know, we kept talking for a while. I'm sure he had somewhere to go, but never once did he give me the slight inclination that he'd rather be somewhere else. He told me about some of his questions and some of his thoughts, and you don't understand how much this inspired me. This isn't in his job description. He just cared. So there they are. 3 short stories. I wish I had more time to tell you about how Dr. Swan really prays for the students, or how my coach on the cycling team inspired me to use my gifts, or how Dr. McAlpin has a perfect blend of teaching from his heart and from his mind. You may be thinking, but Weston, dude, you didn't tell me what tools you put in your toolbox. Well, kinda. I guess what I want to say is that I can get a piece of paper saying I have a diploma from a lot of other places. So that's not what's different about Lindsey Wilson College. What's different about this place is how people are using their tools in a meaningful manner. You know what my dad would say about people like Dean Schmidt, Doc Shuffet, and Ben Martin? He would say their tools are out of their toolbox. And that's what I want for my life. I want to get my tools out of the toolbox. I want to get them greasy. And you know, Lindsey Wilson College has given me plenty of models to learn from. Thank you. And you know what? If I had to do it again, if I had to go back to that spring semester of my senior year filling out applications for college, I'd only need one. I'd do it exactly the same. Thank you.